Good buddy Pete. Okay, this is one to my mother, true classic, and this is from my mom's obituary. She was classy, glamorous, and the life of the party. Recently she said, "I've lived a colorful life," and she certainly did. She enjoyed golfing, playing cards, especially bridge, and cooking for her family. She loved music, the horse races, a good bargain, and the Chicago Cubs. Above all, she devoted her life to her family and treasured times with her children and grandchildren. Her family will always remember her humor, her ability to laugh at her own foibles, her fierce loyalty, and of course her flair for the dramatic. She will be deeply missed. My mom was without doubt the hairdo queen of Racine, Wisconsin. She had this magical, bouncing bouffant of hair that defied gravity. It was the true eighth wonder of the world. And somehow, in every kind of weather and situation, she kept up that amazing silver-tinted cotton candy cone of hair her entire life. Her hair could hypnotize anyone. As if there were magical powers whirling around inside of it, containing a trapdoor that if you stared at her hair too long, you would fall into it and be transported to a different epoch of time and space. It happened to me more than once. That's how powerful my mom's hair was. And her hairdo never took a vacation. It was always there, something you could depend on. In fact, she had her hair done up perfectly 3 days before she died. You never know whom you're going to meet on the other side. Now, I always thought my mom was the missing link in the whole Rat Pack crowd of the 60s, you know, with Frank Sinatra and Angie Dickinson and DeMark and those guys. She dressed for the part. She always had fashionable dresses, beautiful costume jewelry, hair done up perfectly, of course, makeup. She loved to have a good time. But this is Racine. This wasn't Vegas or New York. Very different kind of rat pack. So in our little neighborhood in Racine, Wisconsin, my parents would have their friends come over, and they have a kind of revolving party in different houses, and they get in our kitchen in the summer, and they would drink highballs and gin and tonics and beer. And my mom had a beautiful voice, loved to sing, and she had this funky little ukulele. And she'd strum it, and she would harmonize with Bob Smith all night long, singing all these beautiful songs like Georgia, and songs by Patsy Cline, Eddie Arnold. And she would keep us kids up half the night with her singing and laughing. But I didn't really mind it. In some way, in my subconscious, I thought, if my parents are having this much fun, then maybe getting old wasn't such a bad thing, you know? But one thing my mom was not was a naturalist. She was no Yule Gibbons, I'll tell you that. We never camped out. We didn't take walks in the woods. In fact, my brother asked her one day, she says, "Mom, did we ever have a picnic or did we ever eat outside?" She says, "Do you ever remember that?" And my brother said, "No, I guess not. That's why I'm asking." "Why?" She says, "Because I hate bugs." All bugs, always have, can't stand the sight of them. That's why we eat indoors. So I was about 30 years old. I came home, and there was an air conditioner outside the kitchen. Somebody had haphazardly thrown a blanket over it, left it there for 6 months, and a beehive grew inside of the blanket. And about 4 bees came into the kitchen and stung my mother, totally terrorizing her, freaked her out, and she hid herself into her bedroom. So I came home. She came out, her eyes are bugging out. She says, "You've got to kill the bees. You've got to kill every single one of them. You understand me? Kill every one of these bees. I cannot live like this." I said, "Well, what am I supposed to do, Mom?" "I don't know. Go to the hardware store. They got sprays. Get something." So I get my friend Andy the salve and the barrel of the bees. We get this spray. It's good for like 25 feet. Andy has a rake. And he pulls up the blanket, and the bees come storming at us, and I start wildly spraying them, backpedaling, and running to the house. And there is my mother standing in the door, wringing her hands. She says, "Did you kill them? Did you kill them?" I said, I think so." "What do you mean you think so? Did you kill them?" I said, I think we did." She said, "Did you kill all of them?" I said, "Yes, Mom." She says, "Bring me the dead bodies." I said, you're kidding. She says, no, I want proof. That was my mom. Hairdo queen and anti-naturalist supreme. So one winter, when my mom was in her mid-40s, I was about 24 or so, we were sitting in our living room, family room, fire blazing, Johnny Carson on. She was in her leopard print bathrobe, hair done perfectly, smoking a long parliament, looking for all the world like a lounge lizard version of Olivia de Havilland. And she all of a sudden looks at me and she says, Jeff, you had that marijuana in the house? So what do you have? I want to try it. So I don't want to give it to you. She said, why not? I said, because I don't know how you're going to react. What are you talking about? I said, people have weird reactions and they freak out sometimes, and I don't want to be responsible if you freak out. Don't be silly. I've been drinking for 25 years. I never freaked out once. I said, Mom, it's different than alcohol. She says, Jeff, please go upstairs and get your marijuana for your mother. So she wore me down. I got my Mexican railroad ditch brown weed. I started rolling it up. My sister Annie came home, Maria I guess it was, came home from high school. And my mom says, hi, Jeff. She looks at Maria and in her most serious I am your mother tone says, Maria, what would you think if your mother smoked marijuana? She says, I don't care, Mom. She says, Jeff, roll it up. My mother starts smoking it. She started smoking it just like a cigarette. She takes about 3 hits. She says, I knew this was stupid. I knew this was dumb. So boring. Why don't you kids just have a drink and have some laughs? You sit in a circle and you just get stupid all day. This is nothing. I said, Mom, you're not doing it right. You've got to hold it in. So she goes. And she starts laughing. I mean, she starts bouncing on the couch and giggling and laughing. She says, this is what it's like? This is what it's like? Marijuana? I said, yes. This is, oh my God, I can't believe it. She's just laughing and laughing. And she sits back into the couch. She lights a parliament. She says, you know, Jeff, I never knew how heavy a cigarette was. In fact, I don't even know how I can lift it. I said, Mom, it's still just a cigarette. She goes, oh, that's right. It's the marijuana, isn't it? I said, yes. And she starts laughing again. And then a little while later she says, you know, I am so small, you could put me in your hand, walk me upstairs, and just drop me on my pillow, couldn't you? I said, Mom, you're still 130 pounds. Oh, that's right. That's what it is. And she starts laughing again. My sister Maria looked at her, and I'm getting a little worried. She's making so much noise. And I said, Mom, Dad's upstairs. She goes, oh, no. And she's just like us as a teenager, worried that my dad is going to bust her. Oh, that wouldn't be good. I said, just get a little bit of gin, and we'll say you're drunk. Okay, so she gets a little gin. There's a knock on the door. It's my brother Mike. I said, Mom's stoned. He goes, what? Mom's stoned. He comes walking into the living room. There's my mother. Hi, Mike. How are you? Mike says, I'm fine, Mom. How are you? She says, I'm high on marijuana. I heard. She says, where were you, Mike? He says, well, I was just in Madison at a concert.